Will Liverpool's pressing game crush Chelsea, or will Chelsea continue to haunt Liverpool at Anfield? Watch until the end of the video to hear all of my thoughts on Chelsea's upcoming Carabao Cup third round clash against the Reds. Hello people, welcome to my channel, welcome to another video. This is my video where I'll be giving you my Carabao Cup third round preview for the game in which Chelsea will be playing at Anfield against Liverpool. So what I'm going to do for you guys is that firstly I'm going to give you some notes from the press conference, and secondly I'll give you my lineup, which will obviously be broken down into the formation and then the personnel as always, and then lastly I will give you my score prediction along with Don Goodman's prediction and some notes he made on the game itself. So without further ado, let's get into what Gianfranco Zola had to say in the press conference. Before I get into Gianfranco Zola's press conference, I am just going to say that I will only be focusing on the questions which were asked, which were in relation to the Chelsea first team, possible opportunities for our youngsters, and injury updates. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the press conference. The first thing in which Gianfranco Zola was asked about in relation to the team was to do with Gary Cahill and his possible move away from the club. Gianfranco Zola said that he understands why Gary Cahill was upset with the lack of playing time, and he said that he should be upset because it shows that he cares about the club, which I completely agree with. The second story, or the second question, was to do with injury updates, and Gianfranco Zola confirmed that there are only 3 major injuries, and they are Pedro with a shoulder injury, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who has had injections and is recovering just like Pedro, and Antonio Rudiger, who has a groin injury which was sustained at the London Stadium against West Ham United last Sunday. The third question was to do with Eden Hazard, and he said that he's a really good player and he still needs to improve. He also said that he gets better with the more playing time he gets, which is really good. It's really good that Gianfranco Zola has come out and said that. And the fourth and final thing was to do with Ethan Ampadu and Callum Hudson-Odoi, and he said that they both have a chance, but he said that they both have to take their chances when they get the chances. So that really was it from the press conference in terms of important questions, because Gianfranco Zola was also asked about the Ryder Cup. I do not know why, but that's just what happens in press conferences. That's what happens in press conferences sometimes. So that's really it from the press conference. Getting into the lineup now, and starting off with the formation, Maurizio Sarri is going to go with a 4-3-3 with that deep line playmaker involved. I don't even need to say that anymore. But getting into the personnel, it's not the strongest team I could think of, simply because we do have to play Liverpool on Saturday, although I have kept some first team players in the mix. Getting into the player I've gone with in goal, I've gone with Willy Caballero. I just think that this is the perfect time for him to start. He is an EFL Cup specialist or a Carabao Cup specialist, if you like, whichever one you want to go with. In terms of the back four, I've gone with Zappacosta at right back, Emerson Palmieri at left back, and I've gone with a centre back pairing of Andreas Christensen and Gary Cahill. Yes, some of you may be calling for Ethan Ampadu to start, but I think we really have to take this game seriously, and I think we have to keep it very strong at the back. I'm not saying that Ethan Ampadu is a bad player, he is a really good player, but I would like to see him start on the bench for this one. In the midfield three, I've gone with Fabregas in that deep line playmaker role. I think that Jorginho definitely needs to rest after his game on Sunday. It was not his best performance on Sunday, and he clearly looked really tired from the PAOK game, so I think he needs to rest. I would like to see him on the bench in case we need him. In terms of the players in front of Fabregas, I've gone with Drinkwater and Ross Barkley. I think that them two can complement each other. I think that Drinkwater can also play in that deep line playmaker role because his passing is really good, and also Drinkwater hasn't played under Maurizio Sarri at all, so I think this is the time for him to play. And yeah, in the front three, on the right hand side I've gone with Callum Hudson-Odoi. On the left hand side I've gone with Eden Hazard, because those two need to play together and they need to learn from each other. Up front I've gone with Alvaro Morata, simply because he needs to regain his confidence, and I think this is the time for him to do so. So to recap the team, I've gone with Caballero in goal. I've gone with a back four of Davide Zappacosta at right back, a centre-back pairing of Andres Christensen and Gary Cahill, and at left back I've gone with Emerson Palmieri. In the midfield three, I've gone with Fabregas in that deep line playmaker role, with Ross Barkley and Danny Drinkwater just ahead of him. In the right wing spot, I've gone with Callum Hudson-Odoi. Up front, I've gone with Alvaro Morata, and on the left hand side, I've gone with none other than Eden Hazard. That's the lineup I've gone with. Now, to conclude the preview, I am going to give you my score prediction along with Don Goodman's thoughts on the game for triangulation purposes. Before I give you my score prediction, I'm going to give you Don Goodman's thoughts on the game. He thinks that Liverpool will win because of their depth, and he thinks that it will be a very interesting game, and that whoever wins will use it for the game on Saturday, and whoever loses will say that Saturday's game is more important, which is fair enough, and I completely agree with that as well. He's gone with a 2-1 Liverpool win because he thinks that Liverpool will have far more depth in terms of the game, in terms of the squad, which is fair enough, but I think that it will go to penalties. I don't know why. Something inside me just thinks that it will go all the way to penalties. I think that both sides will play a weakened team. We'll just have to see, because I just don't know what to think of this game. I think it's going to be really hard for both sides, as both sides are doing really well so far. But hopefully Chelsea win. Hopefully Chelsea continue this really good record at Anfield, and hopefully we get into the fourth round of the Carabao Cup. So thank you all for watching. That is the end of my preview. I'll see you all very soon for my team sheet reaction, and I'll see you all for my reaction video where hopefully I am celebrating. Come on you Blues, and peace. Please beat the Scousers.